Wonderful. So let's get started. So good morning. Thank you very much for your time and giving up an hour of your busy day to join us for the Australian Tourism Exchange 2024 Win More Business at ATE Countdown Guide. I'm Giovanna from Sparrowly Group and welcome to today's webinar. This is your weekly countdown guide to make ATE a success, whether it's your first time attending or your fifth. So I think there's a few of you who have joined us today who are new, first times. So welcome, and a few who have been around the traps with ATE before. So before we begin, I acknowledge that I am recording this webinar from the lands belonging to the Gadigal and the Wongal peoples of the Eora Nation. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all work today, and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are participating in this webinar today. Welcome. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the land and waters of New South Wales. So what is ATE? Australian Tourism Exchange. It's Australia's flagship tourism event. So ATE will be a 4-day event from Sunday the 19th of May to Thursday the 23rd of May and held at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. It connects the Australian tourism industry with travel buyers from around the globe. It's an opportunity to connect and build relationships with travel buyers, educate and update them about your product and destination, and grow your business. The event will bring together Australian tourism businesses, tourism wholesalers, and retailers from around the world. And in that 4 days, we'll be conducting scheduled business appointments and participate in key networking events. So ATE 24 provides international buyers with the opportunity to experience Australia's tourism offerings firsthand through pre- and post-event for meals as well. So who attends ATE and how do you know if you're ready? So sellers, that's yourself and in industry, can participate if they have an international market-ready tourism product or experience, or if they're a state, regional, or territory tourism association. And the tourism business lifecycle diagram here on the slide is a really good way to understand if you're ready to be part of ATE for your business. So typically you start off as being business ready. You then become ready for visitors and you become tourism ready. You then move into, with your business, into having domestic bookable product and you become distribution ready. And then finally, you move into being export ready. So working with the international market and hence ATE. So to exhibit at ATE, it's $1,650 for an exhibition table and an appointment schedule. Then there is accommodation and travel costs associated. So any number of delegates from your organisation can attend for an additional $800 a person on top of the first delegate. Now, remember, you will have to have public liability insurance as well to attend, and that's a minimum of $10 million. So appointments are 15 minutes and there are around 84 appointments available, pre-scheduled appointments across the 4-day event. So that's a lot of talking and organising, so you need to be really prepared. I know yesterday I was at Destination Australia conference and I was talking all day and my voice sounds a bit croaky, so you really need to look after that voice. There are around 1,500 Australian seller delegates and 700 buyer delegates. That is those that sell Australia to international travellers and specifically sell your tourism product or experience on your behalf. And that's they're going to be from 30 countries who are expected to attend ATE this year. Attending ATE is a big investment of both time and money. It can also be very overwhelming. So we want to help you prepare so that you can make the most of the opportunity and your investment if you're attending. So We're about 9 weeks to go. So what we've done, and we'll go through this next, is that we've mapped out the key dates that you need to know and key tasks that you should be doing each week to prepare. We've also got tips for you at the event and the all-important post-event follow-up. So refresh, plan, and research. So if you have been accepted to attend ATE, you will already have an idea of what international markets are the best fit for your products and how to work with the distribution system. But if you don't, now is the time to get clear on which international markets are right for your business. So if working in international markets is new to you, refresh your knowledge on the international distribution travel system, inbound tour operators, travel wholesalers, online travel agents, and retail. These are the buyers that attend ATE, the people that you will be meeting with. So it's time to brush up on who they are and how they work. You want to be reviewing your markets. So who are the international markets that are already coming to your destination or business? And what are the changes in traveler trends? You need to be understanding those markets and be really clear on which international markets you want to target at the event. Get really clear on which ones are the best markets for your destination and your business. And with over 700 buyers attending, you can't meet with everybody. And nor will they be the right fit for your business. So it needs to be really targeted. So think about your business. Who are the distribution partners you're already working with? And make a list of those. You'll definitely want to be meeting with them in the first instance. And which are the markets that are best fit for your business? For example, a small accommodation provider in regional Queensland might be best suited to the UK or European FIT traveller market rather than large Asian groups. So use Tourism Australia's market research and get up to date to travel trends from your targeted markets and understand which new markets are a fit for your business. You should also connect with your tourism associations, Tourism Australia and your state tourism organisations, and make sure that you're across all of the opportunities with them to help you prepare and maximise your presence. So that's from briefings to familiar programs. Now, an important date to mark in now is that the seller briefing that Tourism Australia will run, it will be held on Wednesday, the 11th of April, and you will get an email about this from Tourism Australia, so please keep an eye out. Talk to your local or regional tourism organisation, and there's a couple here today, so thanks for joining, to understand what visitors are already coming into the region and what distribution partners are already bringing business into the area. Now, we've got some resources there, and as a follow-up to this, we're going to send through a link to a page on our website that will have this recording and all of the resources, and that includes the Tourism Australia trade resources. But if you're wanting to jump in now, you simply just go to the tourism.australia.com website, and on the top navigations, there's resources, and that'll drop down to a page called the Travel Trade Hub. But don't worry, we'll send this all as a follow-up. In addition to the pre-work that we've just gone through, you want to also get ready for your preferencing. So get ready because appointment preferences open tomorrow, Friday, the 15th of March. So you want to be working quite quickly through this. So it opens tomorrow. So through the online preferencing system, both buyers and sellers are able to request who they would like to meet at ATE. So there are 84 available pre-scheduled appointment slots and 10 free appointments. So the pre-scheduled appointments are filled through preferencing. The system uses an algorithm then to match the business and create your appointment schedule. So with over 700 buyer delegates attending the event, you really need to think about who you want to meet with, as we've just discussed. You then want to start thinking about finalising your plans. Check your travel and accommodation bookings. If you don't have that booked yet, I would strongly urge you to do that very, very soon, okay? Because you don't want to be caught out. Check the ATE portal and website for some recommendations. So some other things that you need to start thinking about: what you're going to wear. That might sound a bit silly, but you are representing your brand. You all want to be looking really good. So sometimes destinations will have a uniform to present a united front, or you might want your own corporate uniform. So just make sure that you have your ATE uniform sorted, on brand, and including comfortable shoes, because it is a massive trade show floor. Think about now what collateral you need to take. So business cards, small gifts, and other sales collateral. So if you need to think about producing, having things printed or made, and they may have lead times, you don't want to be rushing that. And think about what your booth will look like, both from a signage perspective, or the signage should already be sorted through the State Tourism Organisation, and the furniture will be ordered. But think about what else you need to have for your setup on your booth. You can do a little bit of a decoration of your booth. All right, so at 7 weeks to go, so that's from the 1st to the 7th of April, there's a lot of potential buyers out there. But by now you've done your research and are really clear on which markets you want to work with and the types of business that's best for you. So whether it be free and independent travellers, otherwise known as FIT, groups, business travellers, special interest groups, this will help you it'll help make preferencing a lot easier. Now, preferencing takes time, but it's important as it improves your chances to get quality appointments. So log in to the ATE portal and start early. Do a little bit every day. You don't want to be trying to do all your preferencing at once. It can be really overwhelming. So use your research to guide you and stay focused. And don't leave it to the last minute to think that you can just knock it off in one hit. You want to keep a really clear mind when preferencing, because it will help you choose wisely, because you are making a big investment in attending ATE. We'd suggest that you start with your top 20, any distribution partners that you're already working with, and key distribution partners that are already visiting your destination. Then you work through your list. You can also preference staff from Tourism Australia and the State Tourism Organisation. Both Australian-based and the international staff are at the event. Now, it's important to think about this because it's important to build relationships with them all. So request appointments to meet with them through the preferencing portal as well. You have a limited number of preferences to maximise your chances of getting quality appointments, so use all of your available preferences. Now remember, this is most important, preferencing closes on the 4th of April. All right, so then we're at 6 weeks to go, and at 6 weeks to go, that's the week between the 8th and the 14th of April. So when you're at ATE, unless you're from a very familiar and well-known destination, and even then sometimes, you'll also be selling your destination. Buyers want to know where you are located, so a map is really good, what's around you, and how far you are from major transport locations. Selling the destination first is really important when you attend ATE. So understanding what products are internationally ready in your destination, how the destination is selling itself, and where you can fit into a destination itinerary. So depending on where you are located, your regional and local tourism organisation may also be attending or supporting. So please do touch base with them. Remember to grab some resources from them or other businesses who may not be attending ATE to be able to promote the destination as well as your own business. During this week, you'll have the opportunity to participate in the seller briefing so you can learn more what to expect. So we mentioned that it would be on the 11th of April. So in the week of the 15th to the 21st of April, we're at 5 weeks to go and preferences are in. So that's a massive tick off the list. So while schedules are being finalised, this is the time that you'll use to get your sales collateral polished up and ready to go. So if you've been accepted to attend, you should have already have your toolkit in place, including a fact sheet, rate sheets, terms and conditions, and a product presentation. So there's 4 things that you need at a minimum. And you want to make sure that these are up to date. So polish your fact sheets, update any images, product information, and pricing. Update your rate sheets, remembering that international contracting happens 12 to 18 months in advance. So you need to have your rates in place for the period 1st of April 2025 to the 31st of March 2026. Also, check your terms and conditions and make any amendments necessary. Now, you may not need these for your appointments, but it's important to have them ready to go for your post-event follow-up. Finally, pull together your presentation. So it's the most important sales tool for your appointments. Keep it short and keep it sharp. Now, appointments are 15 minutes in length, but this shouldn't all be filled with your presentation. You want to build a bit of rapport and getting to know the buyer and understand their needs. So try to keep your presentation to no more than 7 minutes. So this will give you the time to build a rapport, ask questions of the buyer. Now, your presentation. Your presentation should tell the story of the destination first and where you're located. And then it should include the details of your product and your unique selling points and details of the products, service, and experiences you offer. So remember, context in terms of the destination first, then your product. Prepare it as a PowerPoint or a Google slide doc. Keep it interesting to look at with key information only. Please, no death by PowerPoint. And make sure that any copy that you do have on your PowerPoint is not small font. You want at least 14-point font and using lots of sharp imagery. It's also a good idea to print off a hard copy in color and use an old school flip chart just in case your computer dies and goes flat or the internet goes down. So always have that backup. It's better to be prepared for going offline just in case. You want to also save these all as PDF documents ready for your post-event follow-up. So key dates this week, on the 19th of April is the final date to make the changes to the delegates attending from your business. Okay, 4 weeks to go. We're getting close now. So that's the 22nd to the 28th of April. So once you've got everything ready, you want to be practicing your pitch. Now, I know this might sound really silly, but doing some role playing and practicing before the event will help build confidence. And I'll give you my contact details later. If you don't have anyone in your business that you can practice or do role playing, I'd invite you to reach out to me and I'm happy to jump on a call for half an hour with you and give you some tips and we do some practice together. You want to be really well rehearsed. So before you start role playing, think about the flow of your appointments. Now, you have 15 minutes on the schedule, but it shouldn't always be about you, your product. ATE is about building relationships. So asking questions of the buyer to understand their needs before you launch straight into the pitch. As my first sales manager told me, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So in appointments with buyers, you should listen twice as much as you speak. Introduce yourself and welcome the buyer. Ask a few questions. Prepare a contact sheet, and this will help you to keep details as you go. Now, we've got a template ready to go, and when we send the follow-up, we're going to send you the contact sheet template, so you don't need to make one. You just need to have it digitally and plenty of printouts. So some of the questions to ask. Tell me a bit about your business. Are you currently bringing visitors to my region? What type of experiences are your customers looking for? Listen to what they have to say, then do your presentation, because you might need to tweak it on the fly based on what they tell you. And again, to reiterate, please keep it to 7 minutes. This will allow for question time and really building the rapport. And that's when the good juicy stuff happens. So key dates on this week, on the 22nd, so that's Monday, the 22nd of April, the schedule will be available and online messaging will open shortly after that. We will also send through a trade contact sheet, as I mentioned earlier. 3 weeks to go. So that is the 29th of April to the 5th of May. So at this time, we recommend that you log into the portal this week, check your schedule. We just mentioned that the schedule will be finalized the week before. So there's no guarantee that you'll get a full schedule through the preferencing. That's okay. Don't stress. You can use the online messaging platform then to reach out to buyers to try to secure additional appointments. So there are 94 appointments in total, the 84 scheduled that we've been talking about, and 10 free appointments. So empty appointments often get filled at the event. Buyers might drop by your stand and ask for an appointment, or you might connect with someone during a networking event that you'd like to schedule an appointment with. So it's good to have a few empty spaces on your schedule. And again, don't feel like you need to fill them all, especially if it's your first time. It's a good idea to leave yourself some breathing space. It's also it also gives you a bit of time, if you've got a bit of breathing space, to keep organized. Plan your follow-up or catch up on some emails, because, you know, we're business owners, so you're probably going to have to do a little bit of work as well as being at ATE. If you are interested to look at the event program in this week, because it will be finalised, you can go to events.tourism.australia.com. There is an events program up there at the moment. 2 weeks to go, so really, really close. I hope everybody's still with me, and this is helpful for you. So this is the 6th to the 12th of May. So we're getting really close now. So this week you will be putting any finishing touches on the plan for your booth. So think about how buyers can quickly connect with you beyond the event via whether it's LinkedIn, WhatsApp, WeChat, and perhaps you might want to think about setting up a QR code to display on your booth so that buyers can scan to connect directly with you. So thinking ahead, now's a really great time to start to plan for post-event follow-up. Something that is so important, but that post-event follow-up is so often overlooked because you get back to your desk or get back to operations and you get busy. So lock some time in your calendar during this week now to follow up the post-event. An hour a day for the week commencing the 27th of May to allow buyers to get home and get back at their desks is a good start. So just to reiterate, so in this week, or you can do it now, but in that week of the 27th of May, we recommend that you block out and commit to 1 hour a day to space out and do all of your follow-up. During this week, you want to be setting up your folders, whether that be a Dropbox or a public link Google Drive with your fact sheets, images, high-res images, and any video you might have. So they're ready to share. You could even get the draft body of your email for follow-ups. And again, I'll share my details later. And if you write something up and would like us to have a little bit of a squiz at it, we're really happy to do that. Finally, you want to be briefing your team who are attending ATE. Let them, making sure that they are across how it's going to run. But then more broadly, your team back on the home front. Let them know where you're going and why it's important for your business. So if you are hosting any pre or post famils, make sure your team is aware of them and they're trained on how to deliver an amazing experience for these buyers. Okay, 1 week to go. it's time to pack your bags. Now, I shouldn't need to tell you not to forget your toothbrush, but there are a few trade show essentials you will want to make sure that you pack. I like to call it the tradie bag. So it includes business cards, stationery, so pens, highlighters, staplers and staples, notebooks and gifts. It's really important you just bring all that stuff with you because a Melbourne Convention Exhibition Centre, it's massive. You don't have time to be ducking out and buying these things. So pack yourself a little tradie bag. Other things to be packing in your tradie bag include power cords, chargers, a portable charger for your phone, as well as chargers for your laptop, batteries if you need them. And as funny as this sounds, pack Panadol, Berocca, and Band-Aids are a handy inclusion too, okay? Because you can get a bit of a, headache. They're long days, particularly with the networking events, so you might need some Berocca, and, you might get some blisters, so some Band-Aids are handy, or you can, be a help to another seller. Having everything ready will really help you keep focused. Also get the toolkit ready. So your presentation on your computer, also on a USB and hard copy. Be prepared. Your fact sheets and supporting materials and your booth display material. Don't forget your contact sheets. As I mentioned, we're going to give you a template that you can use, printed versions in a folder to keep them together. And now is a really great time to double check all of your arrangements, including your final appointment schedule, and check in with colleagues that you know are attending. All right, we're here. ATE, 19th to the 23rd of May. It's time to have fun and get your hustle on. So you've arrived. Nice and early, of course, to allow time to get registered, check your booth, get set up, and then have a drink to celebrate being here and have an early night. Seller registration is open from 12 to 5 p.m. on Sunday, the 19th of May. Don't leave it to Monday. The event kicks off on Monday, the 20th of May, with the first appointment at 9 a.m. sharp. Don't be late. Get there early to set up, make sure everything's working and that you're comfortable and ready to go. Because once it's on, it is on. So throughout the event, keep organised. Take notes on your contact sheet. Staple business cards to them, but don't do that in front of the buyer. That's a bad look. Yeah. So, doing your stapling and your admin and what have you. Some people also like to take photo of the buyer as a prompt to remember what they look like. You'll need to ask the buyer if they're comfortable with that, but you will meet a lot of people. Simply ask if they're okay with that, and add these details to your database because you're going to need to keep in contact with them. Secondly, maximize the breaks. Morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, and the evening networking events to connect with buyers, other sellers, and tourism organisations. Sometimes the best meetings happen in the breaks. So spend some time walking the floor. That's why it's important to have some gaps in your schedule and get to know the other businesses that are attending. Now remember, ATE is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So both ATE and working in this international market, it's a long game. So you've got to pace yourself, okay? There are a bunch of networking and socializing events in the evening times as well. So make sure that you're prepared for those too. And I know it might sound like you feel like you don't have any more in the tank. Those networking events, not only are they awesome fun, but as I mentioned, they're a great way in a more relaxed environment to meet buyers and other sellers in industry. And in your break, spend some time roaming around the trade show floor and seeing how other sellers have set up their booths for future ideas. Now, make sure you also explore the hubs, including the Solutions Hub and the Aviation Hubs, and that will allow you to connect with industry suppliers. So ATE is done. I bet you'll be all dead tired by the end of it, but this is most important. Follow up, follow up, follow up post-event. So you've made it through ATE. Well done. The event might be over, but the work isn't done yet. So post-event follow-up is the most important element of trade events, but it is the one that is most often overlooked or poorly done. You've invested in attending ATE, so make sure you also invest the time to follow up with buyers after the event. Now, this takes time, but working in the international market is all about building relationships. The work you do now to nurture the relationships will really pay off in the long run. So you've already booked in the time. Remember, you popped in like an hour a day to do your follow-up. Get your pile of contact sheets, get to work. So make your follow-up personalized. There's nothing worse than receiving a bulk "nice to meet you" email. That will go straight into the delete. It takes longer to personalize, but it goes a long way to building those all-important relationships. So things like including a comment about something you discussed in your appointments, or a little personal anecdote or piece of information that was shared with you. It's a nice way for the buyer, when they receive their follow-up, to go, wow, this person was really listening. Send everything that you promised that you would. Product information and rates. Ask any follow-up questions that you may have in this email, and any gaps that you might have from your contact sheet, like what inbound tour operator they work with. Set yourself a realistic time frame to get your follow-up done. Now, don't forget to add all of your contact details in the email, and add all of your new contacts to your database, and send them regular updates, like maybe a quarterly trade newsletter, for example, on your business and any new news around the region or destination. So it includes key contacts. Make sure that on your database for updates are key contacts at Tourism Australia, your state tourism organisation, and your regional and local tourism organisation. And if you have hosted for meals, make sure that you follow up with these delegates too. So we're here to help you along the way. So please reach out to myself or Jackie if you have any questions. Jackie and I will be at ATE2 this year. You'll find us supporting Tourism Australia and industry by facilitating the Accessible Australia stand at the Solutions Hub. And we'd love for you to drop by, say hi, hear about your tourism offering and what you're doing in supporting people with disability at the Accessible Australia stand, or just come over and say g'day. And if you've got any questions, we can help you. Now, good luck with your ATE planning. We look forward to seeing you there. If you've got any questions, I'm just going to quickly have a look at the chat so I can answer any. Yeah, hi Megan, e-business cards. Yep, that's absolutely fine. I saw last year at AT that people were using e-business cards as well. But I always think there's just some people who are a bit old school too. So I think it's good to have both options. And sometimes, you know, the tech isn't working. So just have that as a backup. Charlie, g'day Charlie. Yes, pack snacks and water. So a reusable water bottle. There will be water stations around the place. Tourism Australia have a big focus on sustainability, which is amazing. So make sure that you have your own refillable water bottle. And yes, some snacks are important. Really good, you know, healthy snacks, and maybe a few snakes alive as well. That's fantastic. Any other questions before we wrap up? Feel free to pop them in the chat. So I'll just give you a minute if there's any more. Hi, Joe. Yes, you'll absolutely get a copy of this presentation. So we will follow up tomorrow and we will send you a recording of this presentation. We'll send you the presentation slides. We're going to send you that contact sheet and any other quick links that might be useful. And we encourage you, if you've got any other buddies in the industry that you know who are going along, or if you're a destination manager or RT regional tourism manager please just send this out widely to industry. It's free. If it's helpful, then it's fantastic. No worries. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping and participating. We hope it was useful. There are contact details. We'll also send you an email, which will have our contact details, and we look forward to seeing you at ATE.